unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of stuff on YouTube at the time. This is probably back in 2006, so YouTube didn't have a lot of fighting regarding what we do, and what was on there was a lot of war fighting. So it was hard to break down the individual techniques that I was looking to obtain through video. So in our practices, we started to just tape as much as we can. And what the real difference between what I think is happening now with video and what happened maybe 10 years ago is things are starting to be collaborative. The video I get on a practice on Monday can be in your hands Monday night. It can be in your Dropbox Tuesday morning. Whereas 10 years ago, you saw a lot of people that would be taping events, taping Crown, and it would end up on a VHS tape that would end up in a box that would end up in somebody's garage. So I think taping and videotaping, people have always seen a lot of the positive results of that, but getting that into other people's hands is kind of where video is going now. So what I'm trying to do is take the knowledge I learned and take the kind of the theory of what I do with video, get that out there, start an open dialogue with everybody, because I believe this is kind of getting into not necessarily a mandatory phase, but I think people that start in society and start using video right from the get-go are going to be better served than those that don't. So if we can start a dialogue, start getting other people's theories, create a discussion where we can really use video and apply it to what we do in the best way. Because how I use it might not be exactly how you use it, but maybe there's things I'm doing or you're doing that we can share. So when I started uploading my stuff to YouTube, very quickly I started getting a bunch of subscribers. So for those of you who don't know how YouTube works, you upload your videos, they get shared out on your channel, and then other people from around the world can view your videos. You put in key tags, so you put in like SCA Fighting, I put in Lionsgate, on Tir. People do searches, they like your channel, they subscribe to your channel, and they get emailed every time that videos get added. So I checked my YouTube last night. I've got over 40,000 individual plays and over 6,000 people that have viewed just my channel. And I've got about 150 subscribers that get emailed every single day. So as far as promoting our sport, and especially promoting our kingdom and what we do, it's been an absolutely invaluable tool. Personally, I've had some amazing criticism, compliments, and just really good feedback on how we fight in our kingdom, how it applies with everybody else, and frankly, visibility within our own kingdom. There's guys that, I'm up in Vancouver, Canada. There's guys in the South that will come up to me at events and, hey, I watch your YouTube all the time, blah, 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 blah. And, whether these are members of the chivalry or guys who have never even put on armor before. It's a great way to get to know people, and I think it's a great way to make those relationships that are so crucial in the SCA. So the first thing I really noticed about video is that a lot of people, they load up the video, they click play, and then they move on to the next video. And they're using it. Watching anything is fine if you want to be entertained. But when I approach video, I like to approach it much like I approach practice. I have a goal in my mind. I have a technique I want to learn. I have some piece of time that I want to learn. I come into the video with a goal, I'm trying to see that goal, and then I take it to the next place, which is like the practice. So watching video for entertainment is totally fine. I do it all the time as well. But be aware of exactly what you're doing with the video when you're watching. Okay, so most common question I get, this is now getting to the technical track here, is video cameras. Which one do I buy? There's a couple of really good brands I recommend. Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fuji. Basic rule of thumb, like anything in life, is you get what you pay for. You buy a $49 camera, you're getting a $49 camera. Usually the price dictates the features, or vice versa, right? The features of the camera will dictate how much you're paying for the camera. What we want to look for when we're buying a camera is we want frame rate. So everybody kind of knows how a video camera works. It's taking pictures, multiple succession, you hit play, and it plays those as fast as it can. So when you're looking at a camera, you want to try and get as many frame rates as possible, because as we'll see later in the video, when we start breaking things down into their very, very core element process, we want to be able to see the minute positions the shoulder is going through as it's taking the shot. So a higher frame rate will get you that quality and get you that ability to break it down like that.
Would you talk about a high frame rate? Like what what specific numbers are you looking for? 30 frames per second, 60 frames per
I
second?
try and look for anything 60 plus. We'll get into some of the new stuff that technology is doing, where everybody's seen on like National Geographic, where you watch a show and like the frog jumps out of the water and it's super incredible slow-mo. Well, there's cameras you can buy now that do that, and they're relatively affordable, and we'll see what that can do for our fighting. So the next question is, do I buy a digital camera or do I buy a video camera? That's really up to you. What do you want to use this device for, right? Because it's not just for SCA fighting. So if you buy a digital camera, you're going to get really, really good pictures and you're going to get decent video. If you buy a video camera, you're going to get the opposite. You're going to get really good video and decent pictures. As far as compatibility with computers, as far as memory card size, it all basically equals up to be about the same. What is really going to be the difference between having a full memory card and having an empty memory card after a day's worth of video camera is at what resolution you're actually filming in. A lot of cameras can go up to 1080p, 1080i, which is considered high definition. You want to try and get a good idea of what kind of video you want the day of. So if you want to film maybe the highest end fighters in our kingdom, maybe over 10, 15 fights, get the highest frame rate, highest resolution you can get, and dedicate that memory you have on that camera to getting those 10 fights. If you want a biggest whack of, I want 600 fights, I want to see a little bit of everybody, drop down the resolution, drop down the frame rate, and you'll get much more on your memory card.
Before you move on, I have a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we supposed to be seeing what's on your computer yet?
No.
Okay.
So a lot of cameras will come with internal memory. Depending on the kind of camera you buy, you'll get maybe 2 gigabytes, maybe 3 gigabytes. You can always buy expansion memory. For instance, when we went to Australia this year, we had a digital camera and we had two extra, I believe they were 8 gigabyte memory cards. I think we flew in on, quote me, but I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and by Friday they were all full. And this was at a fairly decent resolution memory card. So things like bringing a laptop, bringing USB devices to offload that video to can be incredibly important. You go for the day, like Sporty Kings, for example. You take your video camera, you could film 16 hours straight of amazing video, and then you've got nothing for the next day. So you bring your laptop, you bring maybe a USB device, you download that stuff, which we'll go over, into your computer, and then you offload that to a device. That frees up that memory on your computer, or on your camera, so you can get to videotaping the next day. So I'm gonna get into the slow motion camera here. I'll just give you a glimpse of what a regular camera looks like in a high resolution, and what a slow motion camera looks like. That doesn't look like anything. There we go. Let's go here. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of video of me in here. See if there's something up with that. So this is a camera that is taking pretty close to high definition at a pretty decent frame rate. The choppiness you see, I don't see on my computer. That's purely projector related. But this is a good example of probably about the average to bare minimum of what you want to be recording video at. We've got a good clear picture of movement. We can properly see the timing. Notice the lighting comes in really good. All those things come with a decent quality camera. And
what setting is that, do you think?
Actually, I could probably tell you. So this is only 640 by 480, so it's probably half of HD. The actual file size for that video